Other interesting cultural news, you have a British TV anchor going viral when she noted migrant crime, as well as, unfortunately, sexual harassment against her daughter. Now, this was brought to us thanks to Lives of TikTok on X Twitter, in which she says, quote, watch local British TV anchor Alex Phillips go off about migrant crime in London. Phillips said she had to hide in a neighbor's house after a migrant followed her home, and she had her phone stolen. She also claimed that her friend's teenage daughters had been followed, groped, and sexually assaulted. She says, quote, I don't care if people turn around and go, you're racist, because my safety and safety as a woman in the country is paramount. The UK just voted for more of this. And it's also unfortunate, and yet another reason to not give up your guns. They love disarming citizens and only, keeping it for the government. Disgusting. Granted, her voice is obviously infinitely better than mine. We'll play her really quick.
I'm going to do something which most journalists and presenters wouldn't dare do. That is going down the route of a particularly
Tell the truth, it is rare.
taboo story that is close to my heart, shall we say. And I'll tell you why. It's all about crimes and migrants committing crimes. And I'll tell you why this is particularly close to my heart. Because to coin a favourite phrase of the left wing, it has been my lived experience over the past 3 years or so that a lot of crimes happening against women especially seem to be committed by people who aren't from this country. I've been followed home with a man in one of those Afghan Kolpol hats.
Creepy thing is, Germany actually gave a harsher sentence to a girl who made a social media post talking about how bad the migrants were in that instance. The migrant actually sexually assaulted people in Germany. The migrant got less of an offense than the girl who tweeted about it, which kind of shows you how messed up the world is these days.
Chuntering away in some language all the way to my front door. I had to hide in my neighbour's house and pretend I didn't live in my house because he was lurking around outside trying to do indecent things to himself. That's right. I've also had my phone robbed off me by a Roma woman with a scarf on. And I'm like, what are we doing here? Who are these people? Why are we importing all this stuff? I cannot walk down the streets where I live anymore without weird men leering at me, making comments. Look, I'm not one of these Me Too movement women. When it was builders wolf whistling from vans, I don't care. Sometimes it brightens up your day. Because what they don't do is they don't get into your personal space. They don't trail you. They don't physically approach you. They don't follow you to your front door. It's a very different sort of more harmless thing, a wolf whistle, than some of the stuff I'm being subjected to now. And some of the stuff my best mate who lives around the corner, again, her lived experience. Also, guess what? A woman with long blonde hair. She has 4 teenage daughters. All of them now have at some point been sexually assaulted. They have been groped, they have been followed. They are scared living in London. What is going on? So I am going to keep talking about this. I don't care if people turn around and goes, you're a racist, because my safety and the safety of women in this country is paramount. That is way more important than offending certain communities who, quite frankly, have men with medieval values when it comes to women, and I ain't standing for it.
Well said. Unfortunately, she might just lose her job because of that. It went pretty viral. Got 3.2 million views and 50,000 likes. Which, I mean, there's no best repellent or equalizer than, giving them guns. Like, one of my favorite quotes of all time has to be from the good old Sam Colt, who famously made the first commercially successful repeating revolver, whereas ones before him they had a lot of misfires, the time wasn't right. It was the first reliable revolver. And one of the best quotes of all time is, God made man, Samuel Colt made man equal. One of the most apt metaphors ever. Which again, if you want to protect women, give them their God-given ability to bear arms. Thank God you can do that in most of the United States. However, a lot of these, I should clarify, more totalitarian and evil government places, they take those risks away. In fact, in some countries, you cannot even carry a pocket knife. Ridiculous and disgusting, obviously. Now, one of the first comments comes from Paul Zupa saying, quote, sad to say, but England is going to get even worse now that their government is going to enhance it, that it recently voted to go further left. Got 1.4 thousand likes. Planet a Meme says it's only a matter of time until actual citizens of the countries fight back, getting 775 likes. Unfortunately, again, if they do, some places, they'll get more in trouble than the actual evil perpetrators. The Texas one says, don't vote for the same crap, getting 142 likes. Craig Chamberlain gets I don't know what you call it, an A+ or bonus points for having the best quote of the week. He said, and obviously it's from George Orwell, the best book, 1984. Also, if you have kids, Animal Farm is a great way to get the same concept. It's about half the page count, and the vernacular I think is more easier for a kid to understand, and there's less adult themes in it. Now, Craig Chamberlain says, quote, "In time of universal deceit, telling the truth is a revolutionary act," unquote. And that is a quote, of course, from George Orwell. They got 3.6. Could we make it 3.7 thousand? No, but it still got one. See here. Bo says, "This has happened to my daughter and many of her friends' daughters too. A lot of time it's not something you can call the police over. My daughter was approached by 3 men and they surrounded her asking for her time. She ran off. You can't call the police and say she was..." Oh, sorry, I had to expand the paragraph. She just can't have a police because it was a serious crime. They can't do anything about it. Little girls are approached for sex in the park. Just this week, a man was taking a crap in the park. Is this San Francisco? The city's notorious for that. Quote, "You can walk down the street and there are groups of men staring at you and talking amongst themselves. A girl was nearly dragged into a car last week. It's everywhere, all around, everywhere you go. They're hostile, aggressive, and pervy. They leer and glare and look at you up and down. It's absolutely vile. This is a little Cornish town where the men and gentlemen hold doors open for you and say polite good morning and would never approach a lone girl. These kids aren't going out to play and riding their bikes like they were a few years ago. The street is dying because it's just like vape shops, kebab shops, and Turkish barbers all owned by the same few people." Got 1.5 thousand likes for that particular comment. Let's see. I Love American News says, "It's about to get a lot worse. Hashtag thanks Obama." And it says, quote, "The UK is about to get a new prime minister, someone Obama had been mentoring for months." That got 1,000 likes. Scrolling down more and more. Stormy T says, "Coming to America." This picture of Biden says, oh, he didn't say this, is the text on the picture. It says, "I don't care how many women die. My votes are more important than your women's lives." Getting 714 likes, which is also hypocritical, and I guess if you like dark humor, a little funny. But, the women, statistically speaking, women or single women, white women at home do vote very much left. They say they care about women's rights, and yet they vote to take those rights away so they can't defend themselves by disarming them, which is disgusting and immoral. AKA says, "It's crazy and the whole world is seemingly okay with this." Game 1.5 thousand likes. It would be fascinating to see the paper trail of who's paying for all these flights and who's importing these people all over the planet. Let's see, any contrarian statements here. One Bad Dude said she'll be canceled for speaking the truth, getting 450 likes. Let's see. Courage is a Habit says, "Never before in the history of mankind have we convinced people to put their own safety and finances at risk simply because they're afraid of being labeled. Everything begins with weaponizing your kindness and empathy." Getting 749 likes. Let's see. Old School Eddie says, "Wherever these migrants are being allowed to swarm, crime is rising sharply. There's no denying the fact. We can all see it." Getting 683 likes. Again, was it not Afghan? What was it? Germany. A gal she spoke. Yeah, she actually posted in terms of why this girl got more of a crime from the government than the men who actually not these men who actually abuse these women. She got a harsher crime for she simply posted the statistics on the people committing the sexual assault in Germany. So just posting the crime statistics got her in trouble with the government as opposed to the men who actually did the crime. That's the government for you. And it's obviously viscerally disgusting to say the least. Now, again, will anything change? I mean, I certainly hope so. We're seeing more and more of these instances. And again, not all migrants are doing this, obviously. It is concerning when there's a high propensity of it, and it's even a higher in Germany. The statistics are, was it 8 to 9 times more prevalent? It's astonishing. And yeah, there definitely needs to be a better vetting process, again, especially for the folks that are coming to other countries legally. But will things change? I'm not so sure. I certainly hope so. But let me know in the comments. I'd be fascinated to hear, especially if you're international or if you have been affected locally, you've seen this firsthand. I would be especially fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in. Again, trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So if you could click that button, I would greatly appreciate it. Also, giving me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment is a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take the time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.